Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting, and it's Paydirt review time again, and even better, it's Australian Paydirt review time. In fact, this entire month will be nothing but Australian Paydirt reviews, and I'm super excited. Now, I do need to give two huge shoutouts. One is to all my Patreon members, and without them, I wouldn't be able to do reviews like this, so thank you all very much. The other shoutout goes to Digger, the amateur prospector and Australian YouTuber who was very instrumental in me getting most of these bags of Paydirt. He was kind enough to order a lot of these for me as well as ship them for me. So thank you very much, Digger, and I really hope everyone will go to his channel and subscribe. I will put a link below. So now, let's just get to the Paydirt, and today we're going to be going through some Aussie Paydirt with guaranteed gold. And I'm super excited. It's Australian Paydirt. I can't wait to get into it. So let's just flash up the description and go to the overhead. As you saw, they answer a lot of questions about their Paydirt, and that's because I had to pull that information from their frequently asked questions page. The Paydirt page itself has no information on it whatsoever other than the cost of the Paydirt. So if you search around a little bit, you do get some information about this Paydirt, but it doesn't tell you the weight. So just out of curiosity, we're going to weigh it up. 10.3 ounces. So let's open it up, see what's inside. And it is double bagged. So pretty nice. I like when sellers do that. And we'll have to cut this one open. I will rinse this bag out before the final review. Let's check it for magnetite. Not too much, very little, and what there is here is really, really fine. So I'll be curious to see if there's any fine black sands in here. But for now, let's just listen to some music and classify this down. Okay, all done classifying, and as you can see, least amount here, most here, and about matching parts in here. Now, I'll be really curious to find out where the gold is. Very little material here, so based on the price of this bag, I'm thinking here's where I'm going to find all the gold. Who knows? Only way to find out is to pan it out, so let's get some water and do that. So have my water, have my pan, have all of my Australian Paydirt here, and let's listen to some music and get started with the plus 10 and hopefully find some Aussie gold. Well, finished panning everything out as you saw, and that was fairly easy Paydirt to go through, but we'll discuss that in a minute. For right now, let's just show you the gold I found. In the plus 10, nothing, not even one little piece, but in its defense, this is the lowest priced bag of Paydirt I bought from Australia, so I wasn't really expecting to find anything in the plus 10. Now in the minus 10 plus 20, I did find some gold. About 10 little pieces in there, so pretty happy with that. It's Australian gold, you have to be happy. And in the minus 20 plus 40, even more gold, but not really. One little bitty piece. I actually missed it the first time I went through it. Actually, I saw it go off the side of the pan, and I was too into panning to stop and go back through everything, so I went back later and got it. But I did find one little piece. And finally, in the minus 40, even more gold, but again, not very much. About 10 little pieces in there. So let's start weighing this up, see what we got. Helps if I turn on my scale. Minus 10 plus 20. 0.3. And I don't think either one of these is going to budge the scale. Nope. One little piece. Well, I'll just add it all up, see what we get. Pretty sure it's going to be 0.3. Well, 0.295. It lost weight somehow. For now, let's just talk about Paydirt difficulty. Now for the AussiePaydirt.com's Paydirt, this stuff was really easy to go through. It did have a lot of fairy dust, pixie, mica, things like that that are really shiny but aren't gold. And it did have a very little bit of minus 40. So because of that, for a beginner panner, I'm going to give it a medium. And for an advanced panner, I'm going to give it an easy. And for an expert panner, I'm also going to give it an easy. And now let's get to the ROI and the review. All right, finished calculating my ROI, writing up my review, and let's get right to it. But before I do, I have to put out a huge disclaimer. Now, normally when I do reviews, I calculate into the shipping cost when I calculate their total score. But due to the fact that some of these companies will not ship outside of Australia, or the ones that do, are calculated prices based on where you live. So for these reviews for Australia and Australia only at this current time, I am not going to be factoring into its shipping cost. So these reviews are going to be skewed a little bit in favor of the Australian sellers due to the fact that I'm not calculating in shipping costs. But I am still going to do a normal review just so you know which bag's the best bag. And let's get right to it. This again was from AussiePaydirt.com. It was their classic bag. It had no stated amount of gold added, but they do say they add gold. Its cost was $29.95 in AUD, or $23.38 in USD. So it was the lowest priced bag I could find in Australia, and at 24 bucks, that's a pretty good deal for some Australian Paydirt. But unfortunately, this company will not ship to the United States. I asked them if they would do it off-site because on-site they don't allow it, but they said due to it being a biological hazard, they would not ship to the United States. So this review is pretty much only going to be for people who live in Australia or someone who knows someone in Australia that will ship it to you. Now the gold I recovered right here, 0.295 grams. Now I weighed it up a few times after I got off camera last time, and 4 out of the 5 times it came up 0.295. One time it came up at 0.3. So I'm guessing it's right in between those two numbers, and it just depends on which way I'm breathing or looking. But we're going to calculate it at 0.295. Now, gold spot on the day that this was received by my secret shopper was $59.14, which makes this gold's value worth $17.45, which makes my ROI a very surprising 74.64%, or on my scale, a 7.5. I didn't think that little bit amount of gold would have such a high ROI, but I guess I wasn't really thinking that this is a pretty low priced bag. Now for fun factor, I'm going to keep it at a 7.5. The one thing they do say in their description is that it's pretty easy to pan out, and it was. So I'm not going to bump it up any or lower it any. It's a $24 bag. I didn't expect anything in the plus 10, so 7.5. Now for Paydirt description, they're only getting a 2. Pretty much nothing in there other than the fact that the Paydirt's easy to pan out and it's got gold. For quantity and packaging, they're getting a 9. 10 for quantity because it was a bag of Paydirt. And for packaging, they're getting an 8 because it was in a coffee bag. For customer service and shipping, they're getting a 10 for both. The customer service was really nice. They explained to me where the gold came from and the reasons why they would not ship to the United States, which is really sad. But the customer service was really excellent. And the shipping was really quick to my secret shopper in Australia. So 10 for customer service and shipping, which makes total score for AussiePaydirt.com's classic bag a 7.2. So pretty happy with that score. This is a nice bag of Paydirt for $29.95 AUD or $23.38 USD. I would be happy with this bag. So all that's left is to flash up the score and give away a 24 karat gold plated dime. So let's flash up the score right here. Now before I give away today's 24 karat gold plated dime, I do need to give some shout outs to some of my newest Patreon members. And that's going to be Chris Nelson, John Henry, and Paydirt Getaway. So thank you all very much for joining my Patreon page. And if anyone else is interested in joining, they can check me out at patreon.com/Miller Prospecting. And now for today's 24 karat gold plated dime winner, that's going to go to Rich Peterson. So Rich, make sure you email me so I can send this off to you. And to everyone else, thanks for watching. Happy panning. And if you're not already a subscriber, make sure you hit the subscribe button below.